emotion or when you're trying to avoid feeling, what actually happens to us?
Yeah, well, it can get quite extreme. If we have these kind of blocking behaviors. So if a feeling is aversive in some way, whatever it might be, if we as soon as we start to feel it or even see signs of it that it might be approaching, we put in those blocking behaviors. And so, I don't know, you might find yourself with your head in the fridge looking for something to eat, or you might find yourself, on Netflix just watching program after program, or drinking, or whatever that blocking behavior is for that person, or maybe staying really busy at work, and trying to convince yourself, that you've got all this energy or whatever. But when you do that, when you block emotion out, what you can end up doing is blocking them all out. So I'll often have people who get to therapy after years of doing that, and they feel numb. And they not only have they managed to block out all these negative emotions, so life is less painful in that way, it's almost become more painful because they've also blocked out their ability to feel joy or pleasure or love. And they start to question, gosh, do I love my partner? I'm not interested in all the things that I used to find pleasurable. And there's this kind of numbness. And people imagine that, there's this sort of, emotions have this bad rap, don't they? Where they're apparently this kind of irrational mess that you need to stay away from in order to be a highly functioning individual, rather than it being a part of how we work. And so, by pushing all of those away and trying to stay away from them with the idea that we'll somehow be kind of logical beings, actually being devoid of emotion strips away your life in terms of your sense of meaning or your enjoyment from life. And so that idea that, if you block one emotion well enough, you'll also block a lot of others, and then you can really start to struggle.